Good morning, everybody, and happy Christmas season, Merry Christmas season, or whatever holiday you're celebrating, Hanukkah.
We got the solstice coming next week, and I am ready for some shorter day or longer days. There we go.
Longer
Def-
daylight days.
Oh, it was frosty this morning. I had to defrost my car. It was
Yeah.
chilly, and I still, it's hard when you're out shopping. It's cold, and then you go in the stores, and it's so hot in the stores, and then I come out, and it's so cold. And
And you
anyhow,
know what's
yeah,
so funny is here we've walked into so many stores, and I see Nate is there with us, him and his wife Elizabeth, who also live here, the
cute.
puppy in a blanket.
Yeah, she's
And
all
I've gone
snuggled up.
into stores and they have the air conditioner blowing on me. And it's like, I'm
What?
cold. And it's like, and you still want to have the air blowing on me? No, thank you.
That is crazy. Why is my lighting like? Let's do that. Can we reset the lighting? There we go. Look weird. Anyhow, so gosh, my one lady was out yesterday with a flat tire, and now we've got over 100 orders to do today. And it's not too, I mean, that's not too crazy, but it is busy, busy, busy. And do you think this is our debate? Will this weekend be the busy, busy one, or will last weekend be the
I
busiest?
think this weekend, because let's say this weekend is dated the 17th and the 18th. And so now it's that crunch time. And I don't know about everybody else out there that's been hitting the stores, the retail stores, but
Mhm.
this work week, like these weekdays that we've just had, every store has been so picked over. The lines are outrageous that I have been standing in line, 20, 30 people deep to check out. And so now people that have gone out and haven't been able to find what they need or have given up because the stores are picked over, they are going to be online shopping last minute like fools. So my prediction is that it is
Fools.
this
Let's
weekend.
not call the
Like
customers
shipping
fools.
fools. Look, I'm camoed up today because after our live, I have to go out to a store. So I'm ready to fight. I'm ready to fight these store lines.
Are you bringing
I'm
a
ready to
stick?
be
You
there.
should bring like a wrapping paper thing.
Or I thought like when we have the empty tubes, like the paper towel tubes, sometimes it's fun to, hey,
Get out of
talk
my
through them like
way.
a,
Yep. 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 Ah, fun, fun, fun. I am I am tired and my feet hurt, and
yes.
I made a bad deal with my husband last night. It was good at the time, but he swapped me finishing up wrapping presents, hence wrapping paper and crud from home. I got to
Yeah.
get that today in turn for a foot rub. And while it was a very good decision at the time, I'm kind of regretting my choices this morning.
Why? Because now your feet are sore because you rubbed them too hard?
No, because I have a lot of presents to wrap, and I'm like,
Oh.
I have more than 30 minutes of presents to be wrapping. So, anyhow, I wanted
And
to
be
bring
nice to make a trade with your husband, though, for foot rubs. I just demand my feet be rubbed, and that
I
feels
tried that the other day,
horrible.
and he was like, "No, I don't want to do it." And I'm like,
I
"But
don't care what you want
you
to do. My feet
promised."
are hurting, and you need to rub them. End of story. Okay.
Exactly. I told him it was in the marriage vows, and he disagreed. So, and it doesn't help. I was wasted when we got married, so I don't remember.
Yet it's lasted. So there you go.
we were
Oh,
we were drinking
goodness.
all sorts of wine beforehand and food and just having a good old time. So by the time I got to the aisle, I told my dad, I'm like, "You have to hold me up. Please make sure I don't fall on my, my tush."
Oh, that's funny.
Oh yeah. But you got to remember, we had been together for 5 years. We had two dogs in a house by that time, so it's not like I don't know. It was the ceremony was a
You weren't
formality.
the virgin bride. So I
Hey,
want to share, and I didn't tell you this yet.
what?
I got 2 days ago one of the quit selling our product or we're going to come after you and you need to respond to this letter or else and yada, yada, yada from the brand called Peace Out. And Peace Out, oh, I did tell you this yesterday, didn't
Yeah.
I? So Peace Out is a brand that one of a fellow online seller shared with me a couple years ago. She's in our main group. And she says, I've been selling these for a while and they do really good. If you're interested in getting some, they're having a 40% off sale right now. Peace Out, I'd never heard of it, but they're these little patches that you put over an acne spot. And I hadn't sold any for over a year. And when I was at Marshall's, I think it was, I don't know, the stores are a blur to me now. I saw a box of these acne Peace Out patches. and they were only $4.99, really dirt cheap compared to what they cost online. So of course I grabbed that one box, sent in that one box. Yes, that's the brand. So my husband told me, he's like, yeah, go ahead and call him or write him back and tell him peace out, which I did not acknowledge their letter. And I
Yeah.
removed the one peace out patch I had in stock that I
Mhm.
only paid $4.99 for. And I'll just have them shipped back to me.
Yeah. I was at the wrestling match last night, which I got to stand on my feet for 3 hours, and my daughter didn't have anybody to wrestle, so she didn't get to wrestle. So I'm like, ugh. I have now stood on my feet for about 10 hours and gotten to watch 4 minutes of wrestling. I'm not super happy with this sport. But anyhow, one of the gals had a star, and I assume it was like an acne patch, but it was a,
Star, so it looked cool. I'm going to
yeah, it
get
was like
some
a cool
in here.
patch, which is kind of interesting. I think that's a good little niche to market towards teens. Good morning, Liz. Good morning, Heather. Good morning to middleman Nate, and then Facebook user. I don't know your name. You gotta say you're cool with your information or something with Streamyard. Anyhow, I did want to say that our Bolo group started yesterday going forward. So if you wanted to join, probably in the next couple of days, you could still join this group. If not, you're going to have to wait till the next one. Good morning, Brandy. But we have 4 spots left in our member leads. We are capping it at 20. We are not going beyond that unless if we have a significant amount on like a waiting list or something. And then our VA leads group has 2 spots left. So those links I know are down in my YouTube description, but I could put them in here too if you want. Any advice? Gosh, we're starting out with a question. Good morning, Jose. You always ask the best questions. Any advice on how to ship lithium batteries for Amazon FBA? You have to say it's lithium, and I don't think you can. I think lithiums go to another spot, don't they? They're considered hazmat.
I know that they're hazmat, but I don't ship batteries, so I don't have experience to answer that question.
Yeah. So the first thing you would do, Mr. Jose, is go type into Google Amazon FBA shipping lithium batteries and read the policy. See if they do take them. And if they do take them, it might have to go in hazard and you might have to mark the outside. Because I know when I buy things that have lithium, they have a special marking on the box. So you might have to do that, research that marking and that sticker and either print it out yourself and put it on the box or buy it. Yeah, they're part of the dangerous goods. I have not shipped it, but that's what I would do. I would just go find their policy, read the policy, and then I ship with UPS. So then I go read UPS's policy and make sure that I'm shipping appropriate to UPS, or call this. Okay, don't call, drive to the store because you'll spend more time on hold than you will if you just drove to the hub. I tell you, it's ridiculous trying to get anybody on the phone with anything these days. But if you go down to their hub and talk to the manager down there, they'll say how to put it in the box. There is also an 800 number for the hazardous line for UPS. So you can call them and just say, I'm shipping batteries from this date to this date. How do I mark my box up?
But I get it, Jose. I would rather ask somebody that knew than have to read a policy because, but
Oh, and UPS's policies are written like patent paperwork. It's dry. It's really bad. It'll put you to sleep right away. Yeah, the middleman says, yeah, it is dangerous goods shipped by ground. I know it's ground only, but I don't
yeah,
know if you need the markings on
that's
the
the only
box.
thing I know about hazmat is it's hazmat and ship ground, and that's where my info ends. I do want to acknowledge before we start, because I will forget, somebody asked on Lucy's channel, I don't know if you're watching today or if anybody even cares to know, but somebody asked about my printer here in the background because they were considering buying one of these printers. This is one of those Epson EcoTank printers, and the one that Shaq does the commercials for. I bought mine at Sam's Club. I've never really found them on sale or a good deal. I want to say it's over $200, I think, for this printer. And my model, I don't really think any of the models matters, but my model is ET2760. It's the Epson EcoTank. These little things, which I don't think you could see clearly in the video, is the ink. What do you call them? Containers, wherever the ink goes for the 4 colors you have to put. This is the top part is the full line. Mine right now is to this level, about 25% down in ink. I got this printer in January of this year, and it comes with the ink when you buy the printer. And we filled it up to the tippy top. We print on this printer every single day. I do not use this printer for my Amazon shipping labels. I have a LaserJet printer for that one in our regular office. But here for this room, which we use our Cricut machine in and Cricut projects, so it's color ink. And for those of you who have printers with color ink, you know how quickly the color cartridges go out, how often you have to replace them, buy them, etc. And I think to buy a pack of ink that goes in this, I want to say it's like $90. But my God, I'm only a quarter way done with this ink in almost a full year. It's going to take me at this rate 3 years to run through this ink. It is the best printer I have ever owned. And so I do highly recommend it for those who do a lot of printing, color printing, or use a Cricut. So end of my promo for the Epson.
And you're not even part of them. You're not sponsored.
I'm not, but it
They
has been a
should.
great printer.
They should. All right, Liz, you ask another great question here. And this is the time to ask your questions because we've got a couple of topics to talk about. We got a couple of questions from previous shows where people left questions, and that's the plan for today, is to go through questions and get them answered. So if you have questions, especially about FBM right now, go ahead and ask them. So Liz says, can you buy shipment labels outside of Amazon? Absolutely. They're charging you $11 for 2 ounces from California to Arizona, and the default shipping, you're barely okay. So a couple of things. First, you're going to go into your shipping templates and make sure that you have the option for USPS first class. And then second, Pirate Ship or Sendle are kind of the two out of Amazon realm that I use, that I will purchase shipping from. And you have to copy and paste the customer's information over into them, but for $11 difference, it's going to be what, from 11 to about 4. So is
Yeah.
that about
And
$7
sometimes
difference?
Amazon has glitches because I've had that happen where they have some ridiculous price points, and I'll just X out of that, from purchasing that label and do my next few orders and then come back to that one. And sometimes it then works itself out. In the
That,
cases where it does not, I do exactly like Lucy has mentioned, and I go over to Pirate Ship.
I was going to say, if you back out and refresh, sometimes that will
Yeah.
get it going. But if not,
Yeah.
I purchased through Sendle. You got to copy and paste over, but for $7, I'll copy and paste over for $7. And then
Yeah.
once you get to the print label page, you're going to double click on that tracking number and copy it into your FBM where it says confirm shipping. So either on the order page it says confirm shipping, or if you click buy shipping, you can toggle between buy shipping and confirm shipping. And in the confirm shipping, you're going to select what service you have, USPS first class, and then paste in the tracking number so the customer and the system tracks it. You do lose your A to Z coverage, but for $7, it's probably worth it.
Yeah.
Are y'all sending an FBA all the time? All the time, every day? Well,
All
not
day, every day. I've still been sending in a shipment a week through Q4 into FBA. And these are my normal replens. I've been trying to avoid all Christmas things and toys. I have sent in a few toys only because I feel when you run the numbers, because they're big toys, the cost of shipping, it's more profitable to send them in FBA. And look, toys still sell all year round, and they're going to sell after Christmas. But yes, I'm still sending in FBA.
Yes. And then the second part of that is other ideas, except for Valentine's Day. You've got workout season, office supply season, spring, Easter, on diets, keto.
Yeah, the first of the year, think about it. What happens the first of the year? Everybody has their New Year's resolution. Diet is always top of the list, right? And organizing. People are now trying to organize their space. You're packing up your Christmas. You want the new, totes that people try to get at Target and Walmart. Like me, for instance, I'm sitting on a table in this weird corner of this makeshift office for right now that's got gym equipment in here, Cricut machine. This room is a weird space. My goal is to redo this room where I'm going to try to make it a nice, organized working space. And so organization is another one that people do. So you want to think about buying organizers, organizing kits, what you would reuse, like the little baskets people like to put stuff in and label them, workout clothes that go along with that dieting. Um,
Sports bras,
yep. You
jump
just have
ropes,
to take
yoga
the
mats.
topic and then what attaches to that topic. Like with dieting, is it the diet foods, the workout equipment, the workout clothes, the new running shoes? As
Most
people always say, people get those gift cards for Amazon and they're going to use those and spend them on things.
A lot of businesses, they are tapped out for budgets for the current year and they're wrapping up their books, and then they
Yeah,
reopen budgets in January, February, and that's when all of the offices will stock up on office supplies, pens, pencils, post-its, office chairs, desks,
yep.
all of that stuff. They will start hiring in the new Q1
Yeah,
timeframe.
and people want to de-stress. They're thinking about, meditation, relaxing, and like Lucy says too, planners. Think of like the planners that people like to buy at Michael's. The big, what's it called? The big one, it's something that's a real popular one. People are buying their calendars. That's another one too. Um, and you know what's crazy? I have bought calendars on clearance, like in February, and they sell like that. People that don't care that they've missed January and February not having a calendar, but calendars. People are always wanting a calendar for the new year. And sometimes they didn't think about buying one at Christmas or they didn't get one at Christmas. So that's another thing to look at. And they will sell into the new year, months even.
What goes along with those new hires? You get a new job, you get your new office
Mhm.
space, you want to get a calendar for your
Mhm.
office. Um,
Yep.
yeah, all of those things going on. Yeah, cleaning, organizing, getting out. Somebody mentioned school supplies. Absolutely, school
Yep.
supplies are
I've
a
sold
good
a
one.
lot of backpacks in Januaries in the past because a backpack they got for school has now
Happy
fallen
Planner.
apart. Mhm.
Happy Planner. That's what it was.
Happy Planner, that's the one.
They're saying that they give IP complaints. I know I've
Oh,
sold
I've
the
sold lots of them in
accessories.
the past.
Yeah.
Look,
Um,
everyone's IP complaining lately. Peace out.
yeah. Peace out. Interesting. All right. Jose had another question. Do you guys have a video on repricing with Be Cool if you're doing FBM and charging shipping to the customer using AI options? I do not, and I'm struggling with that, to be honest, because I tried to set it up. I actually did film a video and then it kind of went wonky. So I did not publish that video, and I want to meet back with Samuel and really probably next year because I don't have time this year to hammer it out. So no, I don't. But I'm sure they do have a video or a how-to out there. And I was going to watch said videos, but now I don't know. I haven't. There's a lot
Look,
of
if
things
you get
to do.
100 merchant fulfilled orders today, you're doing all right without having Be Cool figured out.
Yeah, I've just been manually adding and manually repricing,
Mhm.
which is not ideal. I definitely want to use the software that I'm paying for, but for this 3 weeks, I didn't get my knowledge up on the new AI and the integrations, and just didn't seem to be working quite correctly, or I wasn't understanding it correctly, or maybe I was. Like, I did find out that the minimum price, it was taking my shipping cost plus my cost and adding it together, and that was my minimum. But then I don't know, there was just something not right. Nate says he had the same problem. I, it will be talked about. Like, this is going to be a problem that we will solve. We just have not gone down and figured it
And so
out yet.
somebody says that in another group they're in that they said to stay away from Happy Planner. But look, Happy Planner isn't the only planners out there. And for those of you that do KDP, you also can be creating your own planners for 2023 and uploading that to your KDP selling platforms. I did want to address this morning when we were watching the news. My husband hollers out that Trader Joe's, amongst other companies like Hershey, that they are finding heavy metals in the dark chocolate. So I am expecting that recalls will be coming soon, possibly. And I read the article. Lucy and I quickly kind of talked about this before we went live. And it said in one of the articles that I pulled up that just by eating 1 ounce a day of the dark chocolate that it put you at risk for having too much heavy metals in your system. It was like a crazy amount above, like 286% above the allowed amount of heavy metals. And I further went on to read another article that discussed that these heavy metals, it's not that it's coming from factories or being added in, maliciously or on accident, but it is actually coming from the crops, from the soil, and what is dust that is being sprayed or getting on to the crops of the cacao beans.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So I don't know if we want to share all this, but you can research it yourself. So far, there's no direct recalls yet, and this is fairly new
Yep.
stuff. But we did want to talk about recalls in general on Amazon FBA. If there is a recall, what Amazon does is they go and they will stop sending the item out. They will take the page down and they will destroy the product. You take it as a loss. You're not going to get any refunds for that. Some of us got caught up in the Jif recall. Was that this year or was that last year? The peanut
I think it
butter.
was last year.
That was a huge one. And you can wind up with dings on your account health dashboard. There's not a whole lot that you can do. I mean, if you get a ding, there's some things that you can present as a plan of action or whatnot. We've stopped sourcing. This is the recall. My products we checked, it wasn't part of it. You definitely want to address any dings you do get on your account. But if there's a nationwide type recall, Amazon is all over it with destroying the said item properly, and you take a loss on it. That's unfortunate, but it happens. It happens, and as people try to cut corners or do different things, or new studies come out, like Tylenol is causing autism in children with pregnant mothers, and I know that's going to hurt their stock level. They're going to have some lawsuits coming from that. There'll be some crackdown on studies and research and things like that. But there's no way 5 years ago, as a seller of Tylenol, that you would have known that information. So, don't feel bad. It happens. There's no way to tell when and what's going on. We had another question up here. Was it? Oh, how is Q4 treating you so far? I am waiting for January buyers from loving it.
Q4's been good. It is not as great as it was for me last Q4 as so far, but it's still been very good.
I would second that. I have, though, as I've talked about, tried to gear towards more profit per item. And my average profit per FBM item is ranging between $5 and $6. Might be a little less today because now I'm trying to get everything out this weekend. So I know I lowered some prices yesterday. And then whatever doesn't sell, I will be sending in to the warehouse and whatnot. So it's been good. It's been good. I definitely would rather sell less items and make more per item. That's kind of where I'm gearing towards when I'm sourcing. Last year, I know I did a lot of things, a lot of single chocolates that it was like $1 a piece. And I'm like, well, if we send out 20 an hour, that's fine. But this year I'm like, yeah, we're gonna go past that low hanging fruit, and I want things that are a little bit more profitable.
Same here. I've definitely passed those things up as well. I also wanted to address the topic of feeling guilt or feeling greedy. One of our members posted about that she was buying and selling squishmallows, and it made her feel a little bit like she was being a little greedy, and made her feel bad because, she bought it for $19 and sold it for $60, and she was making such great profit on it, and she couldn't help but have what I'm going to call seller's guilt. And some people really suffer from this because it's, the mindset of how you were raised, right? Just in normal life, not about business. Because look, a lot of us resellers are not business majors. We didn't go in to our career of choice in the world by wanting to go into business and buy low and sell high. A lot of us were either housewives or did regular jobs, work at McDonald's, or like me, I cut hair. And some people suffer feeling guilt knowing that I bought this for only $1 and I just sold it for $25. I feel like I'm ripping someone off. And this can be a normal and real thing. And should you feel guilty? Are you being greedy? That's what I want to know.
So I have two kind of mentalities that really help me stop that. The first is when I go into a store and I buy my kids stuff or I buy groceries or whatnot, I know that the store got them for cheaper. So do I feel bad that they are upcharging me to buy that product? Absolutely not. And that's how I feel when customers message and they're like, this is priced too high. Then don't buy it. You know that I'm not going to sell it to you for the price that I got it at. No business does. You don't go into Target and buy a shirt for $20 and think that Target bought that shirt for $20, do you? No, they bought it for 5 or 10 and they're selling it to you for 20.
And
You're a
they have
business.
to, because they have to pay their rent, they have to pay their
Mhm.
employees, they have to pay for all the things. And so do
The
you.
the
You
other
went
thing
out and you drove your car to find it. You did your
mhm,
research on the product, right? You had to wait in a long line. You had to bring it home. Possibly you're paying a packer. You have to pay your overhead, whether it be a warehouse or the mortgage of your own home. You are your own employees. You have to pay taxes. You have to file your taxes. You have to pay your CPA. You have to pay your bookkeeper. All of those costs are from the profit of that item that you got. That's
yep.
where I see it as well.
The other thing that I tell myself is most of the items, in fact, I would say all of the items I sell are not life-saving type of thing. If I was selling insulin in a market and I was insulin that costs
Mhm.
$10 to make and they're selling it for 500 to people that absolutely have to have this insulin to live, no, I'm selling a squishmallow for people. I mean,
Yeah.
come on, there's a million of them out there. If you want this particular one that's rare, you're going to pay up just like anybody would with a collector type of item. It's not a life-saving device. It's it's an extravagant in this world of capitalism. So,
And there are certainly people mad at resellers because resellers will go in the store. And if you were the regular person, you would have been glad that you found the thing and you bought one of it because that's what you were looking for. Where a reseller goes into the store and they bought all 20 that were on the shelf. And so, I can understand the consumer not liking us. I can, because if I wasn't a seller, that would tick me off if I went in a store and I saw somebody had wiped the whole shelf and I just came in for one, just one, and it's like, so I get where the consumer is butt hurt over us sellers. I get it. But, at the same time, I guess they could go out and put in the hard work to find the thing like we did too.
exactly. Exactly. Yeah. You get your butt out and go to 50 stores and then tell me how it is. Anyhow,
Mm-hmm.
Liz asks, do you have a business credit card that you can recommend for flight mileage? Figure out where you're going and then pick the best card for that. I do Southwest because I travel on the Southwest area and that's who I go with. So I have a Chase Southwest. Now, in hindsight, I think it's the Chase Sapphire that is better for points in the overall one, but there is like a cajillion articles and groups. Heather, my friend, was it Heather that
Yeah, I
recommended the
believe it was
Chase?
Heather that told us about the Facebook group that we have both
Yeah, it's
since
Just Get Out of
joined.
Town. JGOOT. That's the name of the group.
Yeah, it looks like Jay Goot. Yeah,
Yeah,
and
J
they
Goot
discuss a
Facebook group.
lot about credit card travel and how you can travel for free. Like Lucy, I liked the Chase Sapphire and then also the American Express card. And this is usually the one that you have to pay the annual fee to have. But when you travel at certain levels and you also get your free miles, you get to stay in their really nice airport, I call them suites or lounges. You get to sit in there where they have food and drinks. And so you really get to
Sounds really
travel
excellent.
more elite style. And I definitely like that. My inner bougie comes out. I've got a
That's
little
definitely the
inner
next one I'm
bougie.
getting is a Chase Sapphire. But
Yeah.
there's a certain way to get the credit cards if you want to start doing the mileage and the discounts and the those freebie thingies that you can
Yeah.
get.
And I travel, I take one or two type of trips a year. I have not this year. My last real vacation was last year in October when I went to Mexico, but it was paid for through my credit card miles that I had. And I have so many more points now because it's been over a year that I've been letting them accumulate. So I have enough for probably 2 trips. And I was just discussing with my mother and husband, like, where should we go? I definitely plan on using those coming up here in 2023.
Yep. A lot of people just do the cash back, the 2% cash back, and that's fine too. I mean, you don't,
Yeah.
if you don't travel or don't want to travel, you don't have to.
Yeah.
I had a couple of large return toys already. Shipping ranged between 20 and 30 on
Ugh.
each. I'm struggling with charging back and shipping, but I'm really wanting to. How likely will I get a complaint? I did enter this on the return template that I charge over $50. How am I going to be receiving a bad review? I only have 17 reviews, 5-star. I don't want us to bring it down. Hopefully after December, I should have a lot of reviews. Yeah, I wouldn't feel bad about charging shipping back, especially if they're doing that and you had it in your policy.
Hmm.
And if you get a bad review on that, that's a risk that we all take. I had somebody that complained about a pencil not working right.
Yes, you did.
They were like, doesn't work, not as described. I'm like, it's a whatever.
Pencil. Yeah, and Heather, I want to say that hopefully you have set up your return policy in Amazon. Um, we've shared templates for that in the past. I know you've been around long enough to probably have seen that. And additionally, it depends the reason that they've returned this toy. If it was damaged during transit, or was it just simply because they changed their mind? So, in order for you to charge back that shipping on that type of an item, it has to fall within the parameters that you're allowed to do that. So if it's just because they simply changed their mind and just didn't want it anymore, there was nothing wrong with it, or they had found a better price elsewhere, you can charge that shipping to them. And I wouldn't feel bad about it because, look, it costs money to ship that. If they change their mind, that's not my fault. And I shouldn't have to be out that shipping cost. If they
Exactly.
do leave you a bad review on that, I would also fight that with Amazon because, again, that is per Amazon's policy. So you did nothing wrong. And Amazon would likely strike through that negative feedback if you did receive one.
100%. That I don't see why they wouldn't, because they're not supposed to complain about the price of the item or the price of shipping, etc. And I, okay, so think of it this way. Best case scenario, you get some money back and you've made 20-30 bucks, right? Because you've not paid that $20-30 in shipping. If you pay that $20-30 in shipping, that's a write-off. I mean, it goes towards your cost of goods and however it's classified in the line items. And so you're not, I mean, it goes against your profit for your company. So yes, it affects your cash flow and everything. All right. Now, if you get that $20-30, now you have $20-30 to go buy more stuff, better on the cash flow. The downsides are you might get a ding on your account, but most likely you can get that lifted off. So, just weigh the pros and cons. If you're doing 50 of them, then, that's going to be a bigger decision than just one or two. And everybody has to weigh those types of decisions every day in this business.
And one of the other things is talk. Oh, see, that's exactly what I was going to talk about next, because I had posted this in the group because this also goes along with the merchant fulfilled shipping. Is Amazon released a new policy a few days ago, and it was a carrier shipping correction policy. And this is for merchant fulfilled items that are being returned, right? Is it just merchant fulfilled, or was this also FBA? That part I don't
I
recall.
am bringing it up, but I'm fairly certain that it's just merchant fulfilled. Just a second.
And the sellers' names were in that letter.
There we
Seller
go.
store names were in
No, they
their
were not.
letters. And I
Well, they
don't know
must
if
not.
all sellers got this letter or not, but I'm assuming yes. I got this letter. And if your address is undeliverable by the carrier because your address is wrong within Amazon, Amazon is going to start charging you an $18 fee per package that is undeliverable to your residence. And your return address must be in the same country as the store you are selling in.
So yes, this is all for just merchant fulfilled. And let's see, it starts on the 14th, and it needs to match the shipping and whatnot. And I'm gonna sidebar for just a hair. The reason all of this junk is coming out and what Amazon is doing is it has to do with everybody that's out of the country trying to sell in the country. And that's my conspiracy theory soapbox here is we've got so many people that want to get in the US market. I see them daily on the boards and everything. How do I sell in America? How do I sell in America? They have done the verification cards. They are checking addresses. They are watching the feedback
Mm-hmm.
because these companies they come in and they pop up, they do a bunch of things against terms of service and they get in trouble and it makes it worse for the rest of us. And one of them is drop shipping and things that surround this, entering in the wrong weights, entering in the wrong things, and the post is getting screwed. They're shipping out dumbbells and they're saying it's first class. It's not matching up. And by the time they get locked down, they've taken the money and run. I saw one that yesterday and I was pretty perturbed about it on the legal page, the ASG, whatever one that I follow. One person does a drop shipping business, has 70 stores, and they got suspended
70 stores.
70 stores and they can't figure out why they
Wow.
were suspended. And they're like, well, I have my VAs logging in and different things and we all VPN and da 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 da. And I'm going, it's against terms of service to do that business style on Amazon. I don't know how else people can say it. It's wrong. And yet you see this all the time. I've seen courses, how to drop ship on Amazon pop up in my feeds. We
Mm-hmm.
can manage your store for you. You just need to put the store up and we will sell for you. And it's all this drop shipping Alibaba BS. And even if
Yeah.
they're getting it from Alibaba and then shipping from a warehouse here, that is what Amazon is cracking down on. And
Yeah.
you don't want to be associated with that. And I turn people down or don't comment and say, you shouldn't be selling. It's hurting me. It's hurting me by more policies, more fees, more BS, more hoops, more red tape. And as much as they come out with the red tape, they just do something to go around that red tape again. And
Mm-hmm.
it's exhausting. But so
They're
is
definitely smarter than me because I struggle with, keeping within the parameters that I'm allowed to be in.
yeah. Yeah. Loving it says I'm staying away from large toys next year. Shipping's expensive, packing's a pain. I tend to stay away unless if it's something really, really
Yeah.
profitable too. Cause I get frustrated, even though it's like $20 profit or $10 profit. I'm sitting there, I'm like, God,
Yeah, I love first class shipping. I like the smaller things as well. And moving on, another question that is asked, and I think this is a good question, is can you sell a product if the packaging that it came in has changed?
oh yeah, that was a good question. And it's one of
Hmm.
those gray areas that can have a yes or a no answer. It's totally, you got to figure out what has changed on the packaging and you have to be super diligent about that. um I'll take like a box of cereal. You know how boxes of cereals will sometimes promote the movie that's coming out or this or that, or they have like a
Hmm.
holiday one or a movie one. If it's something like that that's just kind of seasonal, like we're going into Valentine's Day, and so now if you see hearts on the box versus snowflakes, absolutely, that doesn't matter. You kind of want to make sure that it's not like pumpkins and Halloween and you're in Valentine's Day. I wouldn't do that. But if it's just changed a movie or whatnot, I don't see any reason why you shouldn't be able to. You got to put yourself in the customer's seat. Is the customer going to get your product and say, geez, this has pumpkins on it, it's really old, we're now to Valentine's Day, I don't, I think this product is old and expired. And then some vendors will change their packaging when they update their ingredient list, the contents of the ingredients, the nutrition list, something. And those you cannot, do not do that. Because a lot of times people are looking for that exact formula. Bath and Body Works. Don't do it on Bath and Body Works. People are looking for that particular scent that came out in that particular year. 9 times out, well, maybe not 9 times out of 10, but a percentage of them are looking for the bottle that matches the picture because that scent formula is what they're after, not Some people don't
Yeah,
care.
now I've sold things like at Easter time
Hmm.
that say are bags of jelly beans, right? And when that listing was made, it was maybe made 5 years ago. And the
Hmm.
way the Brock's jelly bean, um, let's say it was the Brock's black jelly beans, and maybe the package was a more lavender package that year at Easter, but it's still a 10-ounce bag of black Brock jelly beans. And this year, the package looks almost the same, but instead of that purple, it's yellow, but it's still a 10-ounce bag of the Brock's black jelly beans. Then that is okay, because manufacturers, as Lucy said, do change their packaging. One thing you've had to be really careful with this year is, let's say on food, is that a lot of our packages have gotten smaller. So this year, when you're outsourcing Brock's black jelly beans, what has always been a 10-ounce bag this year might be an 8-ounce bag or a 9.5-ounce bag. Then you have to be really careful watching the weights of the packaging, especially this year, because we've had inflation, the prices have gone up, but the amount that they're giving us has decreased. So that has been one of the biggest things I've run into on specifically food listings. And other type of packaging that can change it in is, think of a beauty product. Maybe there is a Clairol hair color that is RB4, for those that understand hair color stuff. But if it's still Clairol RB4, but the model on the box is now a different redhead, then that's okay, because it's still Clairol and it's still that specific hair color, and the model has simply changed on the packaging. That is also okay, in my opinion. I'm not Amazon, but in my opinion.
Yeah, again, it's going to come down to the customer. So if the customer complains about it, then it doesn't matter whether you think it's good or not. So put yourself in the customer's seat. So let's say that you didn't and you messed up, because I did. I did this with Easter chocolates, and it was the ounces on the bag. People thought they were getting a 10.2, and I sent out a 9.6, and I'd sent out 42. I'd sent out 42 single things of chocolate, a couple of multi-packs. And I was like, holy smokes, I want to be proactive. You want to be as proactive as you can. So I typed up a little apologies. I, sent out a 9.6-ounce bag, and the list, you purchased a 10.2. Please accept a 50% return on this item. It has already been sent in the mail, something to that effect, and sent that out and refunded everybody. I think it was like $2. I refunded everybody $2 or $3 or whatnot. And everybody was fine with that. I didn't have any customers that came back. And you could have just let it slide and see who's really going to see if they bought a 9.6 versus a 10.2. But I wanted to be proactive at that point, because I didn't know how many people were going to complain. But I figured if I gave everybody a little bit of money back, then I would get 0 complaints and not have my account health go at
Now, I'm
risk.
curious to ask you, because I did this once before a few years back, the same
Mm-hmm.
exact thing that you did.
Mm-hmm.
And I did not have one customer reach out to me and say, "Oh, thanks for that."
No, no. I might have
And
had
then I
two.
thought,
I might have had two. I want to say
maybe
there
I
was one
could
or
have
two
kept
that
that
was
money.
like, okay, thank you, no problem. But yeah, a lot of times people are just going to say, okay, that worked in my favor, and they appreciate that you've
Mhm.
corrected a problem and fixed it. Just like when I go to a restaurant and they mess up, if they proactively, comp me my appetizer, or, do something nice, that is just a really good feeling, because it's like, okay, you acknowledged you messed up, versus if they come over and they're like, well, do you want me to do anything? Do you want something? And then you have to be like, well, everybody wants something, but now you're putting me in a spot to either say, no, it's fine, or whatnot. But if you
Yeah.
came back to my table and are like, yeah, I took $5 off because we screwed up on whatever, that's just such a
Yeah.
nicer customer service. But that's how I do business. I on the receiving end, I've certainly not gotten great customer service, but I like to give good customer service.
Yeah.
Nate says he thinks that if the packaging says packaging may vary, that definitely plays in. heavily if I see that packaging may vary or colors may vary. Let's say you're
I
selling.
love when people who create listings do that. If
Yep.
they were just able to update it, back when Amazon used to let us update our own listings that we've created. But I love, love when it says that packaging may vary. And because sometimes I have sold things and it can be that it actually even really does come in the store that way, that it
Hmm.
comes with multiple choices. Like let's say it's a box of Kleenexes at Christmas. You know how they come out with the Christmas themed Kleenex little cube boxes. One has snowman, one has a reindeer or whatever. And that way, whoever created the listing, or if you're hunting for a listing, you're not looking for the boxes of Kleenex that has the snowman or the boxes of Kleenex that has the reindeer on it. It just says, packaging may vary. So that way you can send in all your Christmas Kleenex with all the different Christmas photo on the box. And I love people who create a good listing like that.
Yep. Yep. It comes down to, again, the customer. If the customer is
Mm,
looking at that, what are they purchasing it for? Kleenex,
yeah.
most of the time we don't care. Like,
Yeah.
honestly, who out there really cares what your Kleenex box looks like? I
And of
mean,
course, I just made that one up, but
well, I'm just saying that if you
yeah,
got time to complain about that, I mean, just you need to get a life. But if you're buying something for a child's party, let's say you're buying Valentine's for a party, you want to have particular ones or whatnot because that's what you're purchasing. So if you were selling, let's say, Minions and Frozen, yeah, if you're only showing Frozen, people are thinking they're getting Frozen. So you need to make it so that it shows the different variations and whatnot because you can't just say random Valentine's Day cards. Well, I
yeah.
guess you could. I don't know. I just bought a random box of cards myself. That is, I'm always looking for just a generic birthday card, anniversary card. So I ran out of my generics and I bought a generic box of cards. But so, yeah, depends on how the listing is built. You want to make sure you're getting on good listings that are built correctly and you're not going to send out a bunch and have people complain. Complain, complain. Anyhow, all right, we're going back to questions.
No, I didn't know if you wanted to talk about bundles, talking about creating listings or not.
I don't know. I don't think we're ready next
Okay.
Friday for that.
And then really the only other topic that I had on my mind this morning, and I don't know how many of you watched the Ellen TV show, but I loved that show. I used to watch it every day while we were working in the office just because it brought me joy. I loved the Ellen show. And this week, the dancer on that show, who they called Twitch, had committed suicide. And it really, truly devastated me as if I knew him personally. We watch different actors or people on television and they come into our lives in our home and you feel like you know them, even though we don't know them in real life. And I felt like I felt when Robin Williams had passed because Twitch, of course, he's not a comedian actor, but he's a happy person. He was just a happy, joyful, I just really enjoyed seeing him on TV. I loved watching him dance and he and his wife all through COVID and still continue to make fun dancing videos and he was just a happy person. So it was a death that shocked me as well. And so there's been a lot of speculations as to why he did this and it just goes to show you that even people who seemingly are happy on the outside can be really hurting on the inside. And during this Christmas season, and really all year long, people can be so nasty to one another, right? Because we're all in a hurry, the lines are long, we're cranky, we're broke, what have you. I mean, there's been a lot going on in my household, in Lucy's household, my mom's boyfriend, his truck had a flat tire the other day and he jacked it up to take the tire off so he could get it repaired. And then he used my mom's car to go to work. While he was gone at work, his truck, he had left it up on that jack on their driveway and then it rolled down and wedged the jack under the truck. Luckily, there was no damage, but there could have been. Then he gets the truck fixed. He takes it to work and somebody steals a catalytic converter. Like sometimes when it rains, it pours and just things keep happening after thing after thing. And so some of the speculation is like with Twitch, and I don't know that this is true because again, they're just speculating, is, on social media, you have a lot of trolls leaving negative comments, and especially with celebrities and people, in the public eye. Think of Kanye West, right? People that are doing things either crazy like Kanye does, or people who are not, like Twitch. You have trolls that leave mean and comments on your post, on um, your videos that maybe you do, telling you're fat, you're ugly, you should die, you should, people can be so, so cruel in this world. And a lot of times, one thing I learned over the years when I was cutting hair, and this is a quote I'm sure many of you have heard before, is that hurting people hurt people. And a lot of times, some of my crankiest customers were the older men. And I was always just had such a way with them that when they left, like, they loved me and they would leave happy and they would hug me, because the way I always looked at it, even in my earlier, younger years of cutting hair, is that, here they are at an older age in life, and maybe life didn't turn out the way that they thought it would. Maybe their spouse at home is sick or dying, maybe their kids don't call them anymore. Whatever it is, it makes them have a cranky disposition on life and the world. And sometimes those are the people that a lot of us dismiss, like, geez, what an asshole. But maybe that's the person who really needs your kindness. So I just really wanted to put that out there, to try to remember to be kind and ask people, how are you doing? Like, really, how are you really doing? And a lot of times the people that are cranky need it, and sometimes the happiest people need to be asked that as well.
It is definitely the sad time of year where we miss our loved ones. One of my packers is going to go decorate a grave on Tuesday. That's one of her things she needs the day off for. So you just never know what's going on with people.
Mm-hmm.
It is not it is not always happy fun time. Same with gifts and presents. I mean, some people just financially are not doing very well, and so they're upset about it. And I get that. And so seeing, people post that, oh, my kids have X amount, and oh my gosh, I need to get that newest fangled thing that's a bajillion dollars for my children, is makes other people feel bad because they can't afford said items for their children. That's what we helped out with. I shopped for I did a couple toys. I don't know if it was Toys for Tot. The firemen were there, so whatever that they were running. But we also sponsored a family in our neighborhood this year, and so we wrapped their stuff up. And a couple other neighbors are doing the same thing because she's a single mom of four, husband domestic violence, and she works two jobs, and so she just can't. It's
Yep, there's a lot of hurting people out there. In fact, when you spoke about that today is the day I'm going to drive over to our local radio station here in town. One of the radio stations does a huge toy drive every year. And I've brought this up before in past lives that we've done. But today is the day that we're actually going to go take our donations, because it's on the same street as Big Lots, which I'm going to as well. Big Lots has a 25% off toys today. I got an email this morning, and they have buy one, get one half off on, like, the food gift sets for those that are interested in taking a run to your local Big Lots. And another thing, besides toy drive, depending on the cities that some of you live in, some of you live nice in the country where you don't have big cities that are full of homeless people like my city is. But I love to keep bags of socks, or say shoes that maybe my husband might be retiring. They're not, gross shoes or gross socks. And sometimes we have brand new socks. And we will, when we drive around town, look, there's homeless people on every corner, it seems here. We like to give out things like that to the homeless people because it's getting colder at night too. And they need coats and they need shoes, and it's just we should have empathy for people all year long, not just during Christmas, but definitely, during Christmas and Thanksgiving in the winter. We do tend to think about others more often during this time. And I just ask that you all do the same, and really just extend kindness and just think about being kind.
yeah. Going back to the social media and whatnot, I'm of course I struggle with it because we run and we've gotten negative feedback before. Sometimes it's just negative to be jerky, and sometimes it's actually good critical, feedback of whatnot. But social media is a problem out there, and you've got to regulate it for yourself, however that looks. If you find that you're getting too emotional about it or too invested in something, then you need to back off. I have a couple family members that like to argue with people online. I'm like, why? They're stupid. Just leave them alone. Like, why are you stooping to their level? They're never going to believe in whatever point you're trying to make. And the other part is just getting messages that are there for spam or scam or just trolls. I mean, we've gotten a couple times on the channel and we just ignore. We're not going to bring up what they're talking about. We're not going to talk about them. I don't care. Like, go on with your day. You're looking for attention, and this is where it's going to stop. Same with chain emails. If you ask me to send this along to 10 of your friends, nope, this is where it goes to die. I do not do that. Homie, don't play that. I love the 90s. Do you remember the skits?
Homie the Clown?
Yeah. Oh, he was my favorite. But homie, don't play this. But the same goes for Instagram. I get hit up on Instagram, Fiverr, Facebook constantly with, hi, hello, can you help me? Hello, hi, hello, gorgeous, hello, beautiful, hello, I've seen your stuff. Nope, dead, gone. I will not respond to you. So if you're one of those people that legitimately wanted to talk to me, you need to say hello, my problem, my issue, what I want to say, and then I will connect with you. Because believe me, I've talked to a lot of the people in the chat here. I'm not against connecting with people, but I get 5 times a day on Instagram from a fake account, and it's fake. I got one on Fiverr. Yeah, that was hilarious. This lady connected on Fiverr and was like, hi, hello, and then starts talking about some other YouTuber. Well, so-and-so YouTuber says blah, 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 blah. I don't care. Like, I'm not being a jerk about it. I just literally don't give a hoot. And in 11 lines of text, which it shouldn't have gone on that long. I should have stopped it after 3 and just been like, block, because I just block people. I don't care. And after 11 lines, I said, you have spent 11 lines of information to me, and not a single one has a single question of what I can help you with. This is Fiverr. I'm here to help. What service are you looking for? This is what I offer. And after 11 lines, I said, you have not asked a single question. I said, you are a spammer. And she was like, I'm not a spammer. Yeah, you are. You are getting ready to hit me up for something, because that's what they do. They engage you. And once
Armand says hello.
Yeah. Hello. I love it. Once they engage you, then that's when they're going to start saying that whatever, the Prince of Nigeria needs his checks cashed, or whatever scam you got going on now. It's it's all something to get out of you, time, effort, money, account information, something. So I just don't. I don't. In fact, that's where I miss a lot of messages on Instagram too. So if I've missed you on Instagram, that's because I just don't go in and look very much. In fact, it's just bad. Instagram's the worst. And I'm struggling because my daughter asked me for Instagram yesterday. And I'm like, I just don't know if I can. Yeah, I've got several. This one is for AMZ Scout. Nope, block. I don't care about AMZ stock. I will help you promote your channel. Chaz, hi there. I'm Chams, CHAMZ from Wholesale Formula. Yeah, I highly doubt you are. Yeah, they want me to do their public 2023 launch, and it's coming from a VA. So no, you get that junk email all the time.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. Junk. Yeah, I killed my regular junk email too. I got one from Amazon. It was how Amazon is helping the Pacific Northwest in their stuff. I'm like, yep. But I have seen their electric cars. I don't know. Have they launched their electric cars down there?
The van?
Yeah.
I saw, yes, we drove past one the other day.
Those are kind of cool. I kind of like them. They've got the big light on the back. Anyhow, okay, we just got a couple things left here. Somebody wanted to know, I think we answered this last time though, on the heat seal thing, if you could just use a regular poly bag. You can. It's not I mean, you can use whatever bag. You can use a Ziploc on a heat sealer. How do you set up your SKUs for organization and information on the product? So I do store underscore cost of goods underscore random number. What do you do?
I do the opposite of you. I do what I paid, store, well, paid underscore store underscore and the ASIN.
Why do you put the ASIN in there?
Maybe I'm lying. Maybe it's not the ASIN, but I know that it's price and store. That's all I care about.
Yes,
Maybe
but
I'm lying. Maybe I am. Let me look at my Amazon account and I'll tell you.
I like store underscore price because then when I'm searching, I can sort by store because your SKU will be one of your columns in whatever
Yeah.
data you're pulling. So I like store and then underscore price for
And I
sorting
like pricing
ability.
first. So when I'm in, Be Cool or anything for that matter, that's the first thing I see is what I paid.
Mm,
So I either way, whatever works, right?
yeah, I'm just for sorting data
Yeah.
later. I'm wondering the pros and cons to different
I don't know. I
styles.
just like seeing what I paid for as the first thing that I see.
Hmm. And somebody asked about oversized shipping FBA. And there's really not much to oversized shipping for FBA. You have to put all the same item in one box. You can't do multiple things. To my knowledge, can you, if all your items are oversized, can you mix them in an FBA box, or is it one box per oversized item? I've only ever shipped in Nerf guns that are oversized.
So, like, if it's oversized, meaning it goes over the 25-inch.
Yeah, let's say you have 5 different Nerf guns and they're all 20-inch
Yeah, you
long.
can send all of them in one case pack. Absolutely, I've done that. So, yes, Lucy, mine is price, store, and the ASIN.
Price store ASIN. Okay, that's
Hmm.
interesting.
Yep, I
I've
thought
not
it
thought
was.
about
But
putting in
look,
the ASIN.
I accidentally tell lies sometimes, but it's always on accident because of what I think it is.
Sure it is, Tina. Sure it is. Jose says, if you use Inventory Lab for FBM, does the SKU gets printed on the shipping label? Worried about? No. SKU is only for you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what a lot of beginners going into Amazon, they get confused between the UPC, the ASIN, the FSNKU, the SKU. It's like, yeah, there's a lot of different numbers going on here, but they all mean different things, but they do not get to see your SKU at all.
Yeah, because then it would be scary if they saw, $7.99 Ross. I mean,
Yeah,
even a non-seller could figure that one out.
absolutely. Absolutely. I was trying to think there's some, whatever. It fled my brain for TOYKN toys, Squishmallow ungating. People were commenting back and forth on that the shipping page, if you're looking to get ungated in Squishmallows, TOYKN.com is allowed, those invoices work. And they said they had to annotate the ASIN beside the product, annotate the company address, and within the PDF, they highlighted all the information in yellow, address confirmation, as well as mailing that you have on file with seller account. And they ordered the kitchen set, the 6-pack of mini Squishmallows. So that was just good tips. I love it when people help each other out. But a lot of people have used the TOYKN store for
I think it's
Squishmallows, and it's
NK.
worked.
You say KN, and I think it's NK.
No, it's KN.
Okay.
Maybe. Okay, hold on. I'll look that up while we answer Jose. Maybe I'm getting confused with the packing slip. It's not on
I
the
never
packing
put
slip
in a
either.
packing slip with my orders.
Me neither. Me neither. You might. It is NK. You are right.
Ding,
Tina's
ding,
so
ding,
smart.
ding. No.
You win the prize for the day. So they typed it.
My crazy memory, how I remember these random things off the top of my head.
It is. It is. I'll remember stupid things. And I'm like, come
Yeah,
on,
Lucy
Brett.
will always say to me, "How do you remember that?" I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah. When I remember because the gals will ask me, she's like, what's the cost of goods? And I'll be like, that was $3.99 on Tuesday from Target. But then, it's like, what's for dinner? I don't know what's in my fridge. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
do know other fries. But I
It's
don't do
funny.
packing slips either. That's another one that's like some people do. I've never done a packing slip.
I don't.
I've never.
And
I
a
do
lot of,
box slips.
yeah, and sometimes customers don't want you to put a packing slip because it might be a
Hmm.
gift. They're afraid it's going to show how much they paid. And I just don't. I never
Yeah,
have.
I have never had anybody complain about it either.
Mm-mm.
Or though I don't know, I've never
All
done it.
right. Well, I'm ready to rock and roll for the day. I got some orders to do and I got Big Lots to go to. And I hope all of you have a great day and a great weekend and all that good stuff.
Let me know how Big Lots goes. I'm curious if it's worth going to
A
tonight.
run over there. Okay.
Yeah, I, I'm on the fence with going out again, but my feet just hurt.
Yeah.
I ordered new shoes last night though too. I'm like, okay, I need new shoes.
Yeah.
My,
Well, my biggest motivation for going to Big Lots today because of that sale is because I did go there this week and bought toys at full price. And they had been on sale, the last week. And I mentioned to the manager there in the toy section that, oh, I really want these, but I wish they were on sale still. And she says, look, between you and me, she goes, if, as long as in the next 10 days, she says they might go on sale because I think she knew they were. She said, you can bring in the receipt and be reimbursed the difference for it going on sale, which it's been less than that because it was just earlier in the week that we did that. So my motivation is going down there to get 25% back of what I already spent on the toys. So that's where my motivation is. And for those that are military or prior military, you get a 10% discount at Big Lots all year long, I believe.
and does that stack with the 20% or
I
the 25?
don't know about that part because I'm not prior military, but I just thought I'd throw that out there.
I did get a couple times, twice this year. Whoever was helping me check out at Fred Meyer gave me an extra. I think they gave me this one, gave me the senior discount. I think that's the same one that the other guy gave, but they, that's why it's nice. It pays to be nice to people. It literally pays. She gave me an extra 20% off like a $600 order. That is a huge savings. Like, come on, get that holiday cheer out, and you know, it definitely pays to be nice and network. You never know who is going to, obviously I don't expect any discounts ever going out, but if you're nice to people, you tend to get more discounts
Yeah.
versus being a jerk. They tend to charge you more. And just not be very nice, and they'll nitpick and add every little charge that they can if you're being kind of a jerk, I've seen. So anyhow, be nice and enjoy those holidays. Do you have any weekend plans?
Not really, just shopping and shipping. That's it. Shopping and shipping. That's it till Christmas time when the sales finally stop.
Yeah, I'm going to the Nutcracker on Sunday. That's my big.
That'll be nice. It'll
All
be
right. Ooh,
nice.
it does. It goes on top of the discount.
And they get
Awesome.
it every time. Yeah, because I know Nate and Elizabeth, I believe both are prior military. I know for sure Elizabeth is, but
Yeah.
I think Nate is as well. All right. I guess we're signing off for now. You guys have a great, wonderful, lovely weekend, and we love you and we thank you for watching.